I heard Deepak Chopra say that every hour of sleep before midnight is worth 2 hours after midnight.
I have heard that as well.
And that makes sense to me.
I believe it, because I'm an early to bedder. I usually try to be to bed by 9 or maybe 10. And when I don't do that, boy, I feel a difference. I mean, if I'm going to bed at 11, because I'm usually up by about 4:45 or 5 in the morning, and if I'm not going to bed by 9 or 10, I feel it.
I'm the same way. If I can be in bed before 10 o'clock, I feel terrific, and I'm at my best the next day.
Absolutely.
So that's a great tip. Another one I know you love is green smoothies, and as I do.
Yes, I do love green smoothies.
Would you talk about that? To me, that's a great hack, because a lot of people start their day with really crap. I see people who start their day at the gas station.
Oh, yeah.
With a coffee and a donut.
I've got people that I still am like working with on that. They just can't help themselves. It's like the gas station is like the siren's wail coming to them to make them stop.
And it's awful, because also some nutritionists say that you ought to start your day with the healthiest stuff in your body that you can get.
Yeah.
You probably agree with that.
I tell people, start your day like a king.
Okay.
Like your breakfast is your king's meal, and your lunch is a queen, or you're like down a step.
Not quite as
and
important.
then dinner should be like a pauper's meal. I mean, you really.
Okay.
And you know, when I say that, I don't mean like you're eating good quality down to low quality. I just mean quantity even. So we always want to be having, quality protein, healthy fats, and good carbohydrates. And what people don't realize is vegetables are carbohydrates, fruits are carbohydrates. It's not just your grains and your starches that provide those healthy essential carbohydrates. So keep that in mind. You do not need to have a plate full of rice and pasta and breads and cereals. I would recommend having a plate of some sort of healthy, lean protein, and then having 2 to 3 servings of some sort of vegetables, asparagus with broccoli and a green salad. And then if you want carbs, having like a sweet potato or some brown rice or something that is if it's coming from the earth. If you could pick it up from the earth, or pull it out of the earth, you don't want it to be coming in a box necessarily.
Yeah.
It's going to be lower on your scale of quality nutrition. But the green smoothies are great because they do start your day off with some sort of protein in the form of a whey protein isolate, ideally. Mm-hmm. And then you've got your greens that you throw in there, kale, spinach. What do you like to put in yours?
I go through a lot of spinach.
Yeah. And mixing it up is a good idea,
yeah,
because different greens will give you different, nutrients
I have
as well.
Beet greens in my freezer.
There you go.
That's a tip right there. You freeze them.
Yep.
People don't know that. I just this morning started a new bag of spinach. They're like $3 at Costco for 5 pounds. Or is it 3 pounds of spinach?
Yeah.
It's a big,
it's
huge
very
bag.
cheap, $4 or $5.
Very cheap.
Freeze it.
And I freeze it right away.
Mm-hmm.
And the first thing I do now when I start a new bag is scrunch it up into little pieces. So it just pours into the blender nice and easily.
Smart.
And it sounds gross.
It's
People
not.
listening right now are thinking, spinach for breakfast? Sounds disgusting. But I also put, the one I had this morning had triple berry mix from Costco.
Yeah.
Frozen berries.
Yep.
I had spinach.
Mm-hmm.
I had some chia seeds.
Okay.
I had some Udo's oil.
Mm-hmm.
I had some yogurt.
What kind of yogurt?
Greek yogurt with no sugar.
Okay, so just your regular plain Greek yogurt.
And then I put an apple, because an apple a day keeps the doctor away. And I put a whole lemon.
Okay.
And it's delicious.
Right.
And people can't imagine it. The list I just said, to the average person listening, they're thinking, that sounds disgusting.
Right.
And until you taste it, then you realize that the dominant good flavors tend to just hide everything else.
It's true. It's a good way to trick yourself into starting your day with some nutritionally densely packed breakfast foods. So I'm a big fan of putting in fresh squeezed grapefruit, not grapefruit juice, actually a grapefruit, slicing it in half, because it's alkalizing. And you want to have those foods that alkalize your body's internal chemistry. So, that kind of stuff. And you can be very creative and find what you like, but it is a very good way to start your day. It will help you to not have as many cravings for the sugars, because as soon as you start your day off with something that jacks up your blood sugars, a very high glycemic or a very refined breakfast, your body will drop faster and you will crave those sugars more. So it is a roller coaster, and your body's on this teeter-totter of, I feel good, I feel bad. If you can pick foods that are much more slower for your body to break down and digest, it will help you to feel full longer. Plus, it will keep you from craving all of those more refined and processed foods. So
yeah, it's true.
It's a really good way to start your day, I agree. So the green smoothie is great, and I'm sure Dave has maybe something on the website. Or
DaveSherwin.com.
DaveSherwin.com.
I have a whole page on green smoothies and all the ingredients and how I do that. I'm a big fan. I generally try to start every day with a green smoothie. Another thing I like about talking about a hack and something simple, I can make the green smoothie the night before.
Yeah, or double
and
it
put it in
up.
the fridge. Mm-hmm.
You can. I'll do double batches, and then I'll make one, and I'll drink that, and the other one's in the fridge for the next day. So if I know I'm going to have a busy day, because it will last for a couple of days, so I'll do a double batch and then have one for the next day so that I can grab it and go.
It also lasts a couple hours in the morning. So if you've made it in the evening, and I typically do make them in the morning. I love the whole fresh aspect of just making it all right then. But either way, it only takes a couple minutes to make.
Yeah.
I usually carry it around and drink it over an hour or two.
Easy.
And it's true what you said. I don't crave sugar. I still enjoy chocolate. I still enjoy on a Friday night a treat and stuff like that.
And I think those are important, by the way. I never ever tell anyone I work with that they can't have whatever it is they love. If they love chocolate, I tell them that is never on the you can't have list. Because as soon as you say you can't have something, you want it worse. So instead, it's I can have this. I'm just going to wait 3 days. I'm going to eat really healthy. And then I'm just going to watch my portions and enjoy it. So nothing is off the list because you just want it worse and you feel deprived. So something to keep in mind, that you always can have that. You just choose not to. You put together several good days and then you say, okay, I'm going to have that dessert or that treat. And your body will forgive you because you've been putting so much good nutrition in. You can move on and it will not even stop you.
Yeah, and it's true what you said about portions. I no longer gorge on anything.
Yeah,
and I used to pig out, and there's times I just succumb to cravings and just eat like a pig. You know, I haven't done that in a very, very long time, and yet, what I find now is if someone puts a box of chocolates in front of me on a Friday night and we're playing games with the family, whatever the context is, right?
Sure.
I can really enjoy one piece of chocolate. And just really enjoy it, maybe two,
and be good,
and be done, and be satisfied. Where I used to, again, I'll admit sometimes it's more than two.
Right.
But it's not binging like I used to. The cravings have definitely gone down, and I can be more satisfied with less. That's been a nice aspect of some of the changes I've seen.
Okay.
So you've given us a ton of great stuff. Thank you very much. Is there anything you'd like to add? Again, back to that person with 30 plus pounds. I mean, the experts out there tell us that 30 pounds is now the definition of obese.
Okay.
Because above that, there's measurable shortening of lifespan. There's a huge increase in risk of heart disease.
Okay.
There's all kinds of really bad things that happen when you're carrying an extra 30 pounds. So let's just end with any more advice for that person. They're ready to make the change. Any more tips, shortcuts, ideas, things that they can take away with them?
Okay. I think my first thing is, and I said this at the beginning, but I really believe this, you have to start somewhere. So I don't care where you are now, if you're 100 pounds overweight, if you've got diabetes and bad knees, I don't care what the situation is, you can always make it better. So if you're willing to just start now, you don't have to all of a sudden be doing all of these amazing things. Just make an effort to cut out the soda, or make an effort to get out and just walk for 10 minutes. Whatever it is, don't be afraid to start, because if you don't, you will never know what you could have accomplished. So I would really encourage people, I think most people, they know what should be done. They just maybe need a little bit of motivation, a little bit of accountability to do it. And once they start to see the momentum going, and that's why the HCG for some people, I understand why they want to use it, because it's just that push that helps them to get some sort of a change in their lives. Yeah. But there are so many resources out there. There are so many people out there that want to help and that really care. So the other thing is, if you mess up, don't kick yourself for it. People want to change, and then they have a weak moment. We all do. I have them. You have them. Every person has them. The difference is that if you have a weak moment, don't beat yourself up and say, see, I told you I can't do it. Or, oh, I
Right.
knew I couldn't succeed. I'm just such a failure. I'm so weak or whatever. Instead, just acknowledge it. Say, okay, I had a weak moment. Maybe analyze it and try to figure out what the conditions were that created that. And then move forward. Keep going. Because it's not the one day that is going to matter. It's the day after day after day. So look at each meal as an opportunity to just become that much better. Every time you eat, just say, oh, this is a chance for me to get that much closer to what I want to be. So in terms of hacks and shortcuts, you know what? There are simpler ways to do things, but there really are no shortcuts in terms of our lifestyle. It's for as long as we're alive.
Yeah.
It's a daily decision to just wake up and say, today I'm going to drink my water. Today I'm going to eat healthy food. Today I'm going to get out and I'm going to move my body because I know it's going to make my life a good life versus something that I'm just stumbling through.
Right.
So persevere. Be consistent. Don't get discouraged and quit. Because once you've done that, that's where the problem lies. It's okay. Just move on. Just like I have a friend that said his mantra is from Winston Churchill. What he said was, keep calm and carry on. And I love that because if we just keep calm and we carry on, we will eventually reach our goals. So
Wow.
there you have it.
That is a great ending to our video. Coach Keena, thank you very much.
You're welcome.